what happens in this groove here. Oh, that's okay. Oh, there's a fuel gauge, okay. Right, well here's what I've got to say about this. I really like the clutch. I think it's great. It's going to be frustrating that I can't stop the bike on a hill. I think for off-road purposes that's going to be a bit of a twat. As a road bike so far, the only mistake I've made with this Easy Ride clutch is that I've arrived at a junction still in fourth. Could have been fifth, could have been sixth. I just slowed down and stopped without going back down through the box. But I won't do it again. And it doesn't matter. You haven't touched the clutch. You're sitting there at the junction. So I just thought, oh, hang on a minute, I never changed down. And you just knock it back through the box to first, second, whatever, and it will set off just fine. Don't need to touch the clutch. I love it. It's really good. The only other thing that happened was I inadvertently popped it into neutral. That's not the bike's fault. That's just me getting used to the gearbox. I'll have a little play later on when I get somewhere a bit quieter and just find out what it's like trying to feather the clutch as if I was riding off-road. What am I going to miss about the R9T if I was to swap it? Well, the grunt. Obviously this thing's just a 420cc 48 brake horse machine and it hasn't got that grunt. You don't expect that. But the other thing is the cruise control. I would definitely really miss. But there we go, down to second, using the engine braking, no clutch. And the clutch is disengaged and then it re-engages. Oops, big foot. But hey, it's plush, it's sophisticated, it's comfortable so far. The suspension feels firm, but it's good. You can tell it's going to handle. Let's see what we've got. You open the throttle, it's a 6-gear corner. There's just nothing going on. You're not dealing with a great deal of power here. The screen's excellent. There's no buffeting off the screen. I'm not feeling anything like that. Bit of wind noise, obviously. There's plenty of room to move about on the seat. I don't know. I mean, this is really good. It's really quite surprising. What happens if I do that? Oh, hello, my vehicle. Ah, now we're talking. Sport. Let's go in there. Go in yet. Here we go. Okay, lean angle. I haven't used any traction control. I'm not going to use any lean angle on these bends either. Now we've got some traffic to deal with that's going reasonably quickly, so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, you need to get over 7,000 RPM to get anywhere near what power it's got. But then when you do, it seems adequate enough. A Wolseley, how lovely. Oh, I smell the petrol. Yeah, certainly take the quick shifter over, maybe over cruise control. It would be great to have them both, but we ain't got cruise. Maybe that's something they're going to add at some point. It would be good because you could get your hand off this. It's not that buzzy. For a little bike, I mean, it's probably the least buzzy bike. Standing position light. Oh yeah, you could use that actually. That's not that bad. Would it be as fun if you put it on 50/50 dirt tyres? No, it wouldn't. How much impact they would have is hard to say. You don't want to keep looking at your lean angles while you're doing the riding. Just check them later, lad. Here we go, the sun's come out. The bike's so happy at that. really does handle nicely. Well, it's remarkable. It's lovely. I like it very much indeed. I can't believe this. Proper puts a smile on your face. It's good fun. I really like it. It's a friendly little thing to ride. I don't think it's got any vices. What's not to like? Well, I do know what's not to like. Can't park it on a bloody hill. Now this should be an interesting little experiment here. I'm going to try and ride it as if I was riding off-road. So we're second gear. It's very weird when you get to that point between 2,500 and 2,700 revs. It's like, oh, my clutch is slipping, but it's just beginning to bite. Whether that would ultimately damage the clutch or not is a moot point. It's like you're slipping it all the time, isn't it? Yeah, there's an exhaust cover that's in the way of my right heel. I think for my height, I might want a bit more of a bar riser in there. You want the weight over the front. That's not a bad thing. What's it like for turning it round in a small space? I don't really need to use this clutch, do I? There we go, turned it round not using the clutch. Back up on the pegs. Oh, it's easy. Okay, so that was interesting. Well, the verdict there is, I'm worrying about slipping the clutch. It kind of slips the clutch for you. So I was thinking I'd have to have it over 2,700 revs and then use the lever to slip the clutch to get over any sort of obstacles. And that would be true if you were riding with something a bit more knobbly gnarly, whatever. But actually, with a bit more getting used to it, you can really let the easy ride clutch. I mean, I ended up saying, it's easy. And it really is. You can't store it. Kind of lets you get on with the job in a better way. I mean, I'd like to go and try it on some, do a proper lane with it. But it's not my bike, you know. I keep pulling the clutch in. Really good fun on the road, no question. The standing position's not great. It's really not ideal. I'm not quite sure what it is that's not right about it, but I get up and standing now. My right heel is definitely being fouled by a heat shield over the exhaust. That's a bit annoying. It's not terrible, but we'll bring it forward. What's the back brake like? Yeah, the back brake's really good actually. You want to be more on the balls of your feet. You'd be alright on a forest fire trail or whatever. That'd be no problem. I think on anything technical, my arms are too straight. I'd like them a bit bent, so I'm 6'2", so probably could do with a bar risers on it. That's easy done. It could be a bit thinner at the tank when these are a bit splayed apart. Not bad, but they're feel a bit pushed out. I mean, the brakes are great. I haven't got a problem with them at all. They work fine. I think it needs, in a way, it needs the easy ride clutch just to have a bit of a feature, a bit of something to write home about, if you know what I mean. It might be a bit, well, come off a very characterful bike in the form of my R9T. It's an easy thing to fall in love with. Yeah, you see, you can't stop it. Slightest hill, it's away. You can't stop it. So that you've got to really choose where you decide to stop. So if you put the side stand down, it's in gear, it stops. But you're no further forward because it's still going to roll away. And then it says engine not started, clutch not actuated. So you have to pull the clutch in and then it starts. Now you can let the clutch out, but nothing happens, of course, because we're under 2,700. Okay, so off we go. With no clutch. That's all no clutchness. Lovely. It's a good job that the quick shifter is as good as it is. You really want that. You want to get that first to second change, and a lot of quick shifters, they're not really good enough for first to second. They're fine after that, but first to second's just too much of a clunk. But this manages it very well. Okay, it's not dealing with a load of power, and should do. It is a conventional clutch, and you can use that clutch. The easy ride clutch to work properly, you want a good quick shifter as well. All in all, it's very impressive. It's not going to work very well off-road with the riding position. It just, yeah. I think it's a road bike. I really do think it's a road bike. But most of what I'll do is going to be on road, so what the hell. And it's certainly a way to have fun and hang on to your license. I mean, you've got to work hard to get yourself in any particular trouble with this thing. Ooh, where does that go? But I think, although my initial thought was I don't want this model, I want the one with a conventional clutch. I think this clutch is a bit of fun. The novelty thing, okay, the novelty's going to wear off, but then the practicality isn't going to wear off, and it is very practical. And because I'm looking at having this and not the R9T, the R9T's full of character. It puts a smile on your face, but it puts a smile on your face when you're pulling out of a corner and you're using that low-end grunt and blah. Now this thing has no brap, it doesn't make a nice noise, it hardly makes any noise at all, and it doesn't have any shove coming out of corners. There's no particular torque to speak of. I mean, it's got some, but compared obviously to a flat twin 1200, but the circumstances under which this will perform are very much broader. There's a lot more things you can use it for. I'm pretty sure that this would be an acceptable bike to tour with. Load it up with a bit of luggage. Yeah, if you buy a CF Moto 450, you've already got that rack. Here, you've got to buy a rack. You don't want to be buying it off BMW because the price is disgusting, really. But I think they've just about done enough of a job. What about the cruising bimbling thing? I like the ergos, the riding position. I think that's a fine job. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, immediately that's really going to piss me off. I'd have to change the exhaust actually. That is so in the way. That heel plate. It's the only really annoying thing I've found about it, and I'm a bit surprised at them honestly, that they couldn't package that better. They couldn't package the exhaust better, route it better. That really is in the way, that heel plate. Because you get down to these revs, and the clutch, you're on that point where the clutch is actually disengaged. Maybe I would prefer a conventional clutch. There's the Hermitage. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, that's what's getting in my way. That there. That front mudguard. Yeah, that's the bracket. 2 bolts there, 1 bolt there. 2 bolts there, 1 bolt there. And then a guide for the front brake pipes. That guide's on the fork, but this guide is on the mudguard, just that one there. Oh, I see, it's a collar on the forklift. It's a pretty decent bash plate. Oh, could I put that in without touching the clutch? Yes, I can. 2, 3, 2. So just to remind myself, pushing it around, if it's in gear, going forwards, it does eventually encounter some resistance and it's hard to push. Arguably that would eventually hold it facing downhill. That same effect does not appear to occur in reverse. So in other words, you can push it backwards in gear until the cows come home. So, but I mean, I don't know, it's counterintuitive, isn't it? You don't want to be pointing a bike downhill when you park it. Actually, the second to third change is a bit tight. It's not as good as the others. It's not as good as first to second, and it's not as good as third to fourth, and fourth to fifth, and fifth to sixth. Yeah, it's funny, BMW quick shifters, there's a bit of a, like, you feel like you kind of need to be hitting them with a hammer or something to get them to do what you want them to do. Come on, chippies, where are you going? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hey, come by. Oh, chippies, make your mind up. Okay. There's enough arguments for having the red one. It's cheaper. It doesn't have the easy ride clutch. I think I'd rather have a conventional setup. The quick shifter isn't that amazing. I mean, these might be bike specific differences, like some people say they vibrate like buggery. This one really doesn't. It's not that bad at all. Even on the launches, and there's been a load of these all together, some of them have vibrated terribly and others have not. So that might be a bike to bike thing. The same thing may apply with the quick shifters, where you get one quick shifter that's a lot better than another. Yeah, I'm wanting to use the clutch to change gear in certainly at certain revs, and when the engine's under a bit of load. Oh, this is gorgeous here. It's not very happy to change on the quick shifter. At that point you'd want to use the clutch. Okay, so then what's the point of having the easy ride? Exactly. And also this bike's too wide. That kind of below 3000 RPM range, the clutch is in. You rev it up, nothing happens. It's pretty weird. I think I'm veering towards the red one. Yeah, I'm actually preferring to use it without the quick shifter and just use the clutch. It's easier on the boot wear, I should imagine, as well. It's a lot of fun, this. But it is a sort of real sized bike, you know. It doesn't feel like a little bike. It does feel quite GS-y, really. I wonder where that goes. That's the thing, you see. A little bike like this, you'd be heading down those. Is there any point having this bike without the easy ride clutch? Well, it's a little bit lighter without it. A little bit less rotating mass going on. You can park it, so that's a thing for sure. Jesus. Given that it's got a quick shifter, you're not using the clutch anyway, so it really is only the start-stop thing. It doesn't feel like a bike that's going to be given to stalling particularly on the dirt. I don't think that would be a problem. Would bar risers spoil the... No, I don't think so. It is a terrific little road bike. Jolly good fun having a bike you have to keep on the boil. There's not a hell of a lot happens when you open the throttle, really. But that's kind of, that's alright though. Ooh, but I wish I had cruise control. My God, that's a big miss. There's byway down there. I think I like it a lot. Make life a ride. So mode, Enduro Pro, warning, ABS and DTC setting. Okay, the ABS is most definitely off, and that is a big back brake. Can you change the modes on the fly? Enduro Pro, rain, road. Yep, excellent. And now we've got the ABS back. Yep. Okay, so electronically, we're happy with that. I think this is a great little bike. I'm even quite liking that clutch, but I won't ride up your grass, BS, because you've taken trouble to cut it. Howdo!
BMW 450 is more road bike than dirt bike. It will definitely manage both jobs, but the biggest smiles will come from rides on twisty blacktop. Single track C roads, possibly with a line of grass down the middle, wiggly B roads, winding A roads, it's very good at all of those. Easy unsurfaced lanes and forest tracks, no problem, knock yourself out. Motorways, straight line trunk roads and major roads, that's not the 450's forte. Best avoided where possible. Technical dirt. Possibly a few mods are needed here, especially to improve the bike protection and the ergonomics if you're a 6-footer. Don't obsess about the 19-inch front wheel though. Even off-road there are pros as well as cons. Bet these will fall over less often than certain stall-happy 390s with prima donna side stand switches. The engine is very likeable, but not super characterful. If you do get a vibey one, try replacing the stock plastic bar end weights with heavier metal ones. Should fix it. The gearbox, it's good. Well-spread ratios suit a wide range of applications. The quick shifter blipper, great at low revs. My demo bike was rather notchy at higher rev, especially between second and third. Like the much vaunted motorway vibes, this might vary bike to bike. The easy ride clutch, it's good. Much better than expected. Easy to get used to, plenty of engine braking available. It'll be excellent for any novice trying off-road because it won't stall. More experienced riders will probably prefer a conventional clutch setup, however. The ERC elephant in the room is, when parked in gear, the clutch is disengaged, so the bike can and will roll away given a sufficient incline. In my opinion, the system needs a quick access parking brake. If you want a non-ERC version, you can't have the trophy livery or its decent bash plate. You can only have a red or a black bike with a pointless pretend bash plate, potentially very annoying. The handling is terrific, agile and fun if you stick to the roads already recommended. The excellent road manners may not translate perfectly to off-road riding, whereas the lightweight definitely will. It ain't no 110 kilogram enduro bike, but then if it was, it couldn't be A2, and in that class, it's the lightest ADV bike around. Touring potential. Well, you can tour on anything, so obviously you can tour on this. Num-bum tolerance levels differ from one human being to another, but I rode this firm seat for 6 hours straight without even feeling the need to stand up and relieve the pressure. Not even my 1200 GS with half a sheep on its seat can boast that. The 450 GS has a good few points to tie on soft luggage, but that missing rack still pisses me off. Wheels. They are cast. They are lighter and easier to clean than spokes, but aesthetically I'd argue the bike suits wire wheels better. And of course, for off-road use they'd be more robust with their inherent willingness to flex. BMW didn't have the spoked wheels ready for market when they launched the bike, and now, if you specify them, be prepared to pay an extra grand or more for the privilege. That buries the bike even deeper into a league of its own price-wise, and for many, that will prove to be a deal-breaker. I think it's a good bike, very good in fact, but surely not so good that it deserves to be so much more expensive than its competition. And if BMW are so trusting of TVS in India with their cut-price labour rates to build the bikes, how come they have to be shipped to Germany before they get to the UK? Quality auditing? I wonder why we're paying for that, because one way or another it will be factored into the price. There's no free lunches in BMW world. The dealer network gives the competition cause for envy, but can you afford 150 quid an hour labour rates to keep the warranty alive? At the price, it has to be a very good bike to tempt a buyer that isn't awash with cash, so the effort to attract younger A2 licence holders is unlikely to fly. Perhaps it's only retired curmudgeonly septuagenarians who struggle with their giant 1200 GSs on the dirt that BMW are really chasing. That'll be me then. Yet in spite of everything, I think I'm sold. Thanks for watching, folks. If I do buy one, I'll get it properly dirty, fall off and report back with my findings. Bye for now.